Hi there, welcome back to the channel. So, I've had the crazy idea that I want to try out humbuckers in my Flying V BYOGuitar that I built. I originally put P94s in it, and I'm thinking I've had a lot of thought since I had the Fender Deluxe going again, and I was thinking it would be nicer to have a little more gain, a little more like natural distortion coming from the guitar in order to drive this amp, and also this one. I'll play it really quickly and show you what I'm talking about, but my original goal when I designed this guitar was I had a Duesenberg Les trim on it, I had P94s, and I was kind of trying to get like a Les Paul Strat hybrid, you know, with trim and single coil pickups. Was kind of the idea. Well, I've built a Strat since then, and now I want this Flying V to be more like a Gibson, to be just like a Flying V. I took the Duesenberg off, and it works way better as a guitar without that. I don't know if all Vs are like this, but it has like its own natural trim, you know, by pushing on the neck and the body together. It's a set neck with hide glue. And so I've found that the guitar just works and plays better without trim on it, so that was liberating. And then I was like, well, why not go all the way and just do the Gibson thing and put humbuckers on it? So I have the original humbuckers that came with the guitar. Just some Chinese-made, I'm sure, Asian cheapies. You know, the typical thing you see shootouts on YouTube where they'll take some expensive like pickups, like some boutique pickups, or at least like a Seymour Duncan or DiMarzio, you know, like a well-known brand, and then compare them to these like $15, you know, Chinese pickups or whatever, and a lot of times they sound pretty similar. Reason being is that pickups are basically just, you know, wire and magnets, you know, a certain amount of turn with a certain gauge of wire around a magnet. For humbuckers, you put two of them together, and for single coils, you do one. Depends if you're using a ceramic magnet or an Alnico. I'm sure these are ceramic magnets. I can't tell. I don't know how to tell. I'm sure somebody out there does on a cheap humbucker, whether it's ceramic or Alnico. I'm pretty sure it's ceramic. And if I like this whole humbucker thing in here, you know, we're going to find out really quickly. If I like it, I'll get some better pickups, you know, that are more to like designed towards what I'm looking for. But really all I'm trying to get is a little more gain and a little more like nasty tone, you know, like as opposed to just like kind of the nice clean thing, because I have a Strat that can do that, you know. I'm trying to make guitars be what they are and have more guitars as opposed to trying to get a all-in-one, you know, guitar. So let's hear the P94s, and then I'll try to leave the strings on them. I'm thinking I could just loosen up the strings, take this stop piece off, you know, just loosen this up, remove that, and have it off to the side without having to take the strings off. Pop this off, bring the pickups out, quickly desolder, resolder, and should be able to get back in with these strings on so we can do a sound sample as soon as I'm done. So let's just do a quick sound sample with the P94 so we can see what the difference is after we put the humbuckers in. Fantastic tone, actually. It's really good. Let's hear the neck pickup. Rather nice. A tad polite, especially with this amp. So if you're playing blues, I think the P94s would be perfect. I just want a little more nasty, especially with like this clean amp. All right, so I'm going to strip it down. Let's see what happens. So what I'll do first, release the guitar. what I'll do first is I'm going to take off the strings here carefully so that we don't lose them, and that way we can quickly do a sound sample with it set up like this with these same strings to see what the difference is. I think I'm going to go back to 11s just because once I finish this little thing, the next thing I'm going to do is upgrade the tuners. I've got some all parts / Goto tuners that I have that I'm going to replace these because these are just pure garbage, and I think that'll be the last little step. And then if I love the humbuckers, I can always upgrade, even if it's just a bridge pickup, go get a fancy one and drop it in. So anyway, lots of fun. Here we go. Let's do it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, taking this screwdriver here, I'm going to just loosen up the stop piece. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is detune. I'll detune the higher strings so they won't be under tension anymore. Okay, now I'm going to just unscrew these. See how I'm unscrewing this? So here we go. Check it out. Got this like this. Okay, got those off. I'll set those right here. Actually, I'll put them on the carpet. It's a black carpet so they won't be lost. And then look, see, I'm just taking this off to the side. I'll start to unscrew the pickups and the pickguard. Okay, we have removed the strings in the bridge, and I'm on my last screw hole here. The last little screw holding the pickguard on. And we don't have to remove anything else. We can leave the switch in place. We've got the strings hanging. And here is the pickguard. See, this exposes the electronics underneath where the pickups connect. And so there's just these two pots here have the pickups connected. So it'll be an easy desolder and replacement of the pickups. So, yeah, now I'm going to unscrew the pickups from the body. Okay, so one last screw here. And that exposes both pickups. So as you can see now, we have access to the pickups. They're removed. And here's the screw that goes in. I'm going to put this in the humbuckers. I have some more screws, but I might use this one. We'll see. This might work better than the ones I have. So I'm going to remove this, and now the new humbuckers will go in place. We'll screw those in, and I'll show you how to desolder and solder. Okay, real quick, let me show you. This pickup here goes to this pot. It's going to this middle lug here. That's where the connection goes, and then the ground is on the top. And then this one here is this black wire here goes to this one. So we're going to remove it now. Okay, that was easy to remove. Just sort of heated it up, and you can see that it took that little wire off. It's right here. So it's lifted off now, and I'm going to take the wire from the humbucker and put it right there. And I measured these ahead of time. This one here with the red wire, usually the red wire would denote the bridge, I would think, and usually one of them will be longer, like the neck pickup wire. Sometimes will be longer because it's got to travel further in a cavity, especially for Les Pauls, but these are the same length. This one measured at 10.2 or 11.2. and this one measured at 12.2, so I'm going to put this in the bridge position, the hotter one, and put the neck one in the neck position, or the 11.2 one in the neck position. So now I'm going to find the hot wire, which is this this part right here that has the insulation on it. You want to use the insulation, that's the hot wire. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So here's the wire This one has insulation, and then it has an end, that's the hot end, and this is the drain or the ground. Okay, I took the P94 off, the neck one, and I took the little frame that comes on it, and I put that on the humbucker. Let me show you how to do that really quickly. It's kind of tricky. Okay, so see how the frame works here? We've got the screw, and there is a spring. I put the bigger side on the bottom, and you attach the screw here on the hole. So you can see this side has the spring. You have to make sure you put the spring on the screw. Oops, there one fell off, falling off. You've got to make sure you put the spring on first so that, you know, it'll be there for the screw. Now I'm going to put it over the hole, and you just sort of press it down once you line it up. It's kind of a bit of a feat here. You get it lined up, and then I just sort of start screwing it in till you feel it come through the other side, and I do. So now that's how you're able to adjust your pickup. Okay, I had to flip it around because I had it facing the wrong way, but you can see that once you complete it, it should look nice and, you know, even and straight in there. And you can see now that you have the springs in place, you can adjust your height. Now I'm going to run this through the route to that middle lug, and then this will get grounded to the top of the pot, the big drain wire here, the negative wire. Show you. I'm going to run the wire through the route here. See how it connects here? You pull on the red wire. You can see it running through the route. Humbucker drops into position. Pickguard comes back up, and now we'll solder it onto the pot. Is you want to make sure that you're heating up the metal and not the solder. So you want to heat up the spot that you're going to solder while you bring the solder to it, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to see over here. But you don't want to solder the solder. I like to put the metal in and really kind of wrap it around the post and then solder on that. So this is looking good. So now we have our neck pickup in. Oops, I don't want to drop everything, but we have our neck pickup in. It doesn't look quite as pretty as the P94, but I'm hoping it gives me the tone I'm looking for. So now we've got the neck pickup in. Let's desolder the bridge. Okay, so now I have this pickup. As you can see, it's running through the route is running through. I mean, the wire is running through the route. I'm pulling it in, dropping here. Let me bring this back up, and then we're going to connect this one. The hot wire will go to the lug on this pot, and then the ground will be on this pot where this one is. It's all, you know, one star ground. So I'm going to go ahead and solder this on next. Okay, now I've got both pickups installed. Soldering looks good. Everything's a-okay there. And you can see this, the pickups are in place. I've dropped the wires down in the route. Now I just have to line up the holes again. Screw it back into place, screw the pickups down, put the bridge back on, and we'll do a sound test. And take the two posts, the two bridge posts, and put those in. And the guitar looks somewhat back to normal. Now we'll tune it up and see how it sounds. Alright, so I tuned it up. I got the pickups, I got them pretty high. And remember, this one was about 12.2 and this one was 11.2. And the P94s were around 7.2 I think, 7.4, something like that. Can't remember exactly. But yeah. So I've got them at a similar height, pretty much, you know, as high as I can get them, and plugging directly in. And we remembered we'll have video documentation sound of what it sounded like in the 18 watt before, plug straight in. Let's see what it sounds like now. It is crunchier, maybe a tad darker, and a little more output. It sounds more like a Gibson to me. It sounds more like, you know, a Flying V. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to play it for a while and I'll decide. I can always just pop these back in. And tomorrow I'm going to switch out the tuning machines. And I can't wait to do that because the ones I bought, I've got them a while back. They're Goto, all-part Goto tuning machines, and they're little mini ones, and they look great and they feel so much better. I got them out of the packaging and just kind of went back and forth with them, you know, and they feel so much better than these. I think these have plastic ears. So yeah, these are going, and those will replace, and that'll give me time to decide if I want to keep the humbuckers in. Right now I think I'm going to do it because I think it's going to help drive this amp better. Anyway, that was fun. That was easy. Got high on solder fumes. Alright, see you next time. Okay, so instead of rapping, I've been excited. I kept playing. It's starting to really sound like the way I want it to sound. So I plugged it into the Fender, remember, because I wanted to have a separate setup, like a smaller setup for smaller shows, you know, like house parties and little stages. But I'm not really big on using distortion pedals just because it's a hassle to have a big pedal board and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted enough drive for my guitar to give me the natural distortion that I love. You know, I like to drive an amp hard. So I've turned it up to 10. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I think it sounds really good. It's not super high gain dirty, but it's like the kind of dirty that works for me as far as, like, you know, playing live. So here we go. Might be a little out of tune. It's quieter. The single coil pickups make more noise, and there's a tighter, the gain is there. It sounds tighter. It's a little warmer and thicker. Yeah, I think it works, and I'm gonna stick with it. At first I wasn't sure because the P94s do sound really good, and for another type of guitar, I'm gonna put those in another guitar. I've got to find one that would really be the right fit. But for the Flying V, I just want to get nasty. One more time, let's check the 18 watt.